Hello. Today I'm showing you one of the most wonderful poses in yoga, and it is called Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. It's so comfortable, it is really soothing. It activates your relaxation response. So parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest, right? So you can just really let go and be, in that quiet, soothing space where your mind can rest and your body can rest and you just reset. And I think that sounds great. And, especially you're pregnant and there's so much going on in your body, outside of your body. It's so good to carve out time and do something soothing for yourself, right? Where you don't always have this feeling of, I have to push myself, I have to make sure I stay fit. Oh, now you're taking time to actually let go and make yourself a gift, yeah? To feel good. So what do you need? For this pose, I just have my mat basically against the wall. And I have a folded towel, and then I have a bolster. I have a bolster and a block, and I'm gonna just tell you a little bit more about that now. So this is optional. You can also do this pose with your sacrum resting on a bolster, or like this, the folded towel or a blanket or whatever, and your torso just on the mat, yeah? But as you are pregnant, you may not be comfortable lying on your back anymore, so this is a very good modification if that should be the case. Sometimes that is the case, especially after week 20 onwards, because of the vena cava syndrome, which means the vena cava, the inferior vena cava, is a huge vein that brings blood from your lower body back to the heart. And if we lie on our back, or when we lie on our back when we're pregnant, because of all the weight in our belly, right, it kind of can compress that vein, and that can lead to symptoms like dizziness, nausea, or palpitations even. So if that's the case for you, that would be a very good option to have an elevated torso. And you would want to put the block, you can put it either on the medium height or the lower setting. I'm just going to try mine with the medium and see how that works. And that block kind of wants to be kind of where your head is going to be. So that's that. And I'm going to show this modification today. And the blanket on the floor is really it just helps to kind of balance your pelvic tilt. So having this little elevation, this is under your sacrum, just helps to balance the pelvic tilt. Also, if you tend to be bony down there, like I am, it's just more comfortable. So, yeah. And then what I have is a strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a towel, a scarf, anything really, to just strap your legs together, so that we can really ensure we can relax the legs, because oftentimes the legs tend to kind of slide apart on the wall. So to relax even more, you can just fix them with a strap. You can put this strap on before you get into the pose, or when you are already kind of lying down, you can just slide the strap on. So just put it next to the mat, so it's kind of handy. You have it handy. And you may want to have 2 additional blocks. If, especially when we're propping up our torso, it could be that torso is too far away from the ground, so we cannot really relax the arms and shoulders anymore. Therefore, you may want to have the blocks to kind of rest your forearm or your hands on them. Just have them handy, and you will see once you lie down whether or not you're comfortable or you need them. And those are the props. You can always improvise a little bit, right? Let's say you don't have a bolster, you can use pillows. You don't have blocks, you can use books, okay? Good. So how far should this towel be away from the wall? It kind of depends a little bit. So you want to sit on this and you want to have your sacrum basically on the towel. The further away this towel is, the more room you're going to have in the back of your legs, right? So if you tend to have tight hamstrings, for example, you may want to move this towel a bit further away from the wall like I did, or even further. If you're very open here, you may even just, you may bring this towel all the way. I would leave a little bit of space just for comfort, but you may bring it very close to the wall. And even if, let's say, you have room in your hamstrings like I do, I'm pretty open there, but I just tried the pose and I felt actually a bit more relaxed and comfortable with the towel a bit further away from the wall. Yeah, so just choose that before you come down, and you can adjust it once you're down. So let's come down. I'm going to show you. So you're going to sit with your right hip, sit on the towel, and the right hip is facing the wall. And because you're pregnant, you want to come down through your side, right? So now you just decide whether you want to like put the strap on now or later. If you put it on now, you just slide your feet in, kind of bring it above your knees, and then just tighten it. And you can always like adjust. If you want to bring the legs out further, you can just make it wider. But for now, just kind of bring it on there a bit looser. It doesn't have to be super tight for now. And then you come a bit more onto the left hip and come down onto your forearm. And then you roll yourself onto the bolster and then walk the feet up the wall. And then I lift my hips up and then make sure that that my sacrum is like evenly on the towel. Yeah? Good. And what I like to do here is I like to roll my head from side to side, lift my rib cage up and just place it back down. To just make sure I'm even here and I'm not kind of like rotating in the upper body or kind of like side bending with one side shorter than the other. So like having a drift to one side. You really want to make sure that you're straight, your spine is straight, and your shoulders and hips are in one line. Good. And now you can lengthen your legs. So my strap is still pretty loose here. And you can see like my legs are not in a 90-degree angle against the wall, right? And I chose that consciously because also it helps to relax my hip flexors a little bit more, and it's just more comfortable. And this is what I mean. If you have tight hamstrings, this is also the better version for you. And you want to make sure that you can really let your legs relax in this pose. So just let the toes fall out to the side. And then so that you do not have to hold your legs and engage your inner thighs, that's where you use the strap for. And you can either have the legs all the way together with the heels touching, which can be quite nice. Or if you just want a bit more opening, you can open the legs out to the side more. And once you've found kind of like your position, that's when you then tighten the strap kind of around your upper thighs, not on the knees, but above the knees. And you probably can feel how your legs are kind of relaxing outward, like into the strap. Good. So that would be like the lower body and legs positioning. And then you can just, feel into your shoulders. And you want to see if your shoulders are kind of like trying to hold your arms and kind of hunching up a little bit. Like that could be a sign that there's tension in there. And here you can experiment with kind of the blocks under your forearms if you need them or not on both sides. Me, for example, I don't need them because it's quite optimal positioning for me here. But if you needed them, you just put them kind of like, under your forearms in the direction your forearms face, right? And that may help you just to relax the shoulders a little bit more. Good. And then arm positioning wise, you can have the arms like in Shavasana, kind of a little bit away from the body. Or you can have them out in like a letter T shape. Or you can also have like cactus arms, which I have to lower my elbows a bit again. And then once you are lying down and you really feel you can let go and you're comfortable, you're aligned, what I sometimes like to do is I take my hands behind my head, lift my head up, and then you just lift, like you're sliding your fingertips up toward the crown of the head and gently lower the head down onto the bolster or the ground. And that just helps me to lengthen the back of my neck and have this feeling of slightly tucking my chin. Good. And then here, take a deep inhale into the belly and the rib cage and the chest. And open mouth, exhale. Deep inhale and exhale. And that way of breathing also helps to remember to relax the jaw. And relax the space between the eyebrows. And maybe with each exhale, you can just relax another part of your body. Or you may have a specific area in your body that you consciously want to let go. Use the next 5 or so breaths to do just that. To more and more gradually let your body sink. And if you have a specific area that you want to relax, just focus your mind on that. And with every exhale, you just let go a little bit more. And you can visualize the muscle, either that specific muscle or just your muscles in general, on the exhale to soften and to let go and relax just a little bit more. Sometimes I like to just visualize a spaghetti and how it's, really hard before we cook them. And then you cook them. And let's say you just go even beyond al dente. That noodle just becomes really soft and relaxed. And this is how I kind of visualize what's happening with my muscles. You are soothing yourself. This is an act of self-love. You are soothing yourself. You're doing that just for yourself. And by that, for your baby. So at any time in this pose, you may want to bring your hands to your belly and find that loving connection from giving love to yourself, really that act of self-love, loving kindness towards self, that pose kind of symbolizes, to translating that to your baby, right? Because the way you feel is very important. Also later as a mother, taking care of yourself is really important, because that's really essentially also you're taking care of your baby by taking care of yourself. And you can just let your body just sink deeper and deeper and deeper into the ground. kind of just like with time, you just feel like you're creating a little kind of hole in the ground, because your body just drops down into the earth. You're leaving like a body imprint. And maybe again, just remember to relax your jaw. Maybe your lips are slightly opened. Relax the tongue in the mouth. Tongue is released away from the area behind your teeth. It's just released softly into the mouth. Nobody's watching you right now. Just fully allow yourself to relax more and more and more. Your thigh bones dropping deeper and deeper into the hip sockets. Your feet and your legs may just feel a little bit tingly after a while, and that's completely normal. It's just your blood flowing out of your feet and your legs. This is one of the good things of this pose, is that activation, like of the return blood flow, which in effect activates the relaxation response. It reduces the heart rate. And this pose is really good to balance out your blood pressure as well. And because you're pregnant, right, it helps to prevent varicose veins, which is a thing during pregnancy. So it is a really, really beneficial pose. And you can stay in this pose for 5 to 10 minutes. And if the tingling in the legs gets too much, you may just put your feet on the wall and find a bend in the knees. You can just do this toward the last kind of 2-3 minutes. And to come out of this pose, you may really stay in this pose for longer. To come out though, you bend the knees and you kind of just bring the knees in. Obviously, right, you have a belly possibly, so just make sure that you bring the knees wide apart so you're not squishing the belly at all. And then bring the feet down and roll back onto your left side. And just align yourself in a way so that your upper body, your torso, is on the bolster and you're just resting on the left side on the bolster. Relax your arms. You're just staying here for like 5 breaths. It's just you want to do that to be mindful of your circulation and to just allow your body to reset. As this pose really has a very strong energetic effect. So you want to just allow yourself to readjust And you can just keep your eyes really closed all the time. And then you press into the right hand and slowly lift yourself up. Good. And then take the strap out and just come to a comfortable seat. Rest the hands on the thighs. And keep your eyes shut if possible. If not, just a very soft gaze right on the ground in front of you. Feel your spine really nice and long, lifting up through the crown of the head. Maybe bring your hands on the belly. Take a deep inhale into the belly. And exhale. Just take a moment here with your baby. And gently open your eyes and take your surroundings in. And thank yourself for taking the time for this practice.